I came home from a work trip 2 days early and found my 9-year-old daughter home alone, scrubbing the kitchen floor as punishment. My in-laws had taken their real granddaughter to an amusement park. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I just did what I had to do. By the next morning, my phone wouldn't stop ringing. Hi. I'm Emma. 35. I work in insurance, turning other people's disasters into neat little reports and spreadsheets. Everything sorted, everything by the book. People call me in a panic, and I just go, describe the damage. No emotion, please. I used to run my life the same way, tidy, calm, no drama. For the most part, it worked. Until it didn't. I have a daughter, Evelyn. She's 9. Sweet, bright, a little shy. Obsessed with ponies. Makes the weirdest little creatures out of Play-Doh. At night, she likes asking deep questions, like why rainbows aren't black and white, or if Grandma Brenda's allergy to her is actually a thing. Oh right, Brendan. My husband. Well, technically. At the time, anyway. We were 3 years in. He had a daughter too, Amanda. 11. That one's easy. If you're not her grandma, her dad, or holding ice cream, she doesn't have time for you. She lived with us full time. Her mom skipped town for Texas even before the divorce was final. When Brendan and I got together, I really believed it could work. That adults could build something new. That kids adjust, love wins, blah blah, all the Hallmark movie crap. And for a while, it kind of did. We rented a small apartment at first. Tiny, but it was ours. I worked. He worked. The girls went to school, fought over markers, made up. It wasn't perfect, but it was stable. And after the mess of my first marriage, stable was all I wanted. Then everything started slipping. Brendan got laid off, some corporate restructuring nonsense. He was looking for work. I started taking on extra hours. Money got tight. Then his parents came in with their big offer, move in with us, just for a little while. I felt my stomach twist the second I heard it. His mom and I? Let's just say we weren't exactly soulmates. She said sweetheart, like it was a slur. But I couldn't afford the rent alone. So we moved. Into their old creaky house in a quiet Illinois suburb. Front porch swing, flag on the lawn, and that classic mindset that grandkids come in 2 categories, ours and the others. I told myself we could manage. That it was temporary. That I still had control. Then came the business trip. 4 days in St. Louis. I wrapped up early and came home Saturday instead of Monday. Thought I'd surprise the girls. Grab pizza, throw on cartoons, maybe make a blanket fort. Just something cozy. The house was too quiet. That kind of quiet that feels wrong. I found Evelyn in the kitchen, wearing an oversized t-shirt, on her knees, scrubbing the floor with a rag. Alone. 9 years old. I asked, where is everyone? She said, they went to the park. I'm grounded. Just like that. Calm. Like it was normal. Like it wasn't the first time. I didn't scream. Didn't throw things. Didn't stage a reality TV-worthy meltdown. I packed our stuff, mine and hers. Grabbed the important documents. Left a note on the counter. You left a child home alone. Called it punishment. Took your real granddaughter to have fun. My daughter's not spending another night in this house. Ever. And we walked out. Got a motel room. I ordered pizza, turned on cartoons, let Evelyn eat an entire tub of ice cream. I didn't say much. Just stayed close. That night, my phone wouldn't stop ringing. Brendan, over and over. Voicemails. Texts. They were home. They'd seen the note. They knew I knew. He tried to explain. Said it was strict parenting, that they weren't far. Seriously. I asked. Emma, come on. You know how my mom is. She was just trying to teach them some discipline. So her idea of discipline is abandoning a 9-year-old while y'all go ride roller coasters? Silence. It was a misunderstanding. No. A misunderstanding is wearing mismatched socks. This was deliberate. This was cruel. He kept talking. I hit decline. I didn't bother calling his parents. What for? I'd already done what needed to be done. The realization that my daughter wasn't happy didn't hit me all at once. It crept in slowly, quietly, like a leaky faucet dripping in the back of your mind. In the way she looked at me across the dinner table. In the silence where her morning songs used to be. She used to sing while eating cereal, something about rainbows and unicorns and how Tuesdays weren't real days. Now? Just silence. When we first moved into Brendan's parents' house, I told myself it was no big deal. Just a rough patch. A couple of months, tops. He'd find work, we'd get back on track. I mean, we were grown-ups. Adults push through, right? The first few days were strained. His mom greeted me with a smile that made me want to take a shower. His dad was like background noise on a TV with the volume turned down. You knew he was there, but you didn't care. Hope you'll be comfortable, sweetheart, she said, showing me our room. We did our best, but we understand, it must be hard for you to adjust to a real family. A real family. Bookmark that phrase. It'll come back later. Living under their roof was like trying to navigate a minefield in ballet slippers. Smile, but not too wide. Don't put your mug there. Don't open windows after 5 p.m. unless you want to summon a tornado straight from hell. I tried to be polite. Too polite, maybe. I mistook tolerance for submission. Amanda adjusted right away. She got her own room. Her own shelf in the bathroom. Her special chair at the dinner table. Evelyn, meanwhile, started off sharing a room with her. That lasted 2 weeks, until suddenly Evelyn moved, because Amanda wasn't sleeping well. I let it go. Smiled through it. Because heaven forbid I become that woman, the nagging second wife who's always starting drama. Then came the money. Turns out Brendan's parents had a second mortgage. And surprise, they couldn't keep up with the payments. His mom had a tiny pension. His dad worked at a hardware store 2 days a week, just to keep from rotting. Their credit history was already 6 feet under from some sketchy business venture they tried a decade ago. Brendan? No steady job, no decent income in over 2 years. So guess whose clean credit score and reliable paycheck came to the rescue? Yep. Mine. The mortgage went in my name. Their house, their rules, my money. Officially, it was a contribution to the family. Realistically, I was paying for a house I didn't own. Emotionally, it felt like paying rent to someone who insulted your kid and then told you to smile more. But I told myself it was temporary. We were a team. We'd get through it. Meanwhile, Brendan's mother began her masterclass in passive-aggressive grandparenting. Not directly, she was way too classy for that. She just chipped away at Evelyn. At first, it was small things. Evelyn laughed less. Stopped drawing. Then came the fake stomachaches before school. She started hiding her little art projects in her backpack instead of showing them off on the fridge like she used to. I asked her, "Why didn't you show Grandma your drawing?" She shrugged. She said the house already looks messy enough. I didn't want to believe it. Maybe just a poorly timed joke? I brought it up to Brendan. He shrugged too. Mom's just tired. Don't take it personally. Then came the candy ban. Cookies? Gone. Chocolate? Vanished. Apparently, some children are better off without sugar, especially the hyper ones. Guess which one she meant. Then Amanda's birthday happened. Cake. Gifts. Balloons. Singing. Evelyn sat in the corner, trying to look happy. I walked over, hugged her. "You okay, honey?" She whispered, "Grandma told me not to touch anything. And not to get in the way." I talked to Brendan. Again. He sighed. "Mom's just a little strict. She means well. She just doesn't connect with Evelyn the same way. It's not malicious." Sure. Not malicious. Just toxic in a lace doily. I worked. A lot. Late hours. Conference calls. Hotel rooms. I told myself it was for the best. For Evelyn. For us. To keep the illusion that things were fine. Then Evelyn's teacher emailed me. Evelyn seems withdrawn and tired. She doesn't interact much with the other kids. We're concerned. I sat down with her. She wouldn't talk at first. Then she said, quietly, Maybe I'm just not very good. I blinked. What do you mean? I mean, they try but I mess everything up. Who told you that? No one. You can just tell. I held her. Told her she was amazing. That she didn't do anything wrong. That she's loved. Then I locked myself in the bathroom and stared at the wall for 40 minutes, trying not to shatter into pieces. After that, I started paying attention. I heard Amanda snap. You're not in charge here. We have rules. I overheard his mom whisper. Just don't touch her stuff, sweetie. You don't want to upset everything again, do you? It chipped away at me. But you know how it goes, you tell yourself to hang on. Just a little longer. You work overtime. You pay for their mortgage. You're a mother. You can't just walk out. And Brendan? Emma, you're blowing this out of proportion. What part, where my daughter's being degraded daily? It's discipline. It's structure. My mom's always been like this. And you? He hesitated. It's hard being stuck in the middle. Just, try not to make this a big deal. Try not to make it a big deal. My daughter's dignity was apparently not a big deal. My paycheck buying a house full of contempt? Also not a big deal. I almost believed him. Almost. Until I came home early. And saw my daughter, on her knees, scrubbing their kitchen floor alone, while the rest of them rode roller coasters. That's what not malicious looked like. That first night at the motel was rough. I got Evelyn vanilla ice cream, her favorite. Turned on cartoons. Propped a pillow next to her. We sat on the bed together, and I just held her. Didn't say anything. Just held her. For 10, maybe 15 minutes. Then she looked up at me and whispered, "You're really not taking me back?" "Never," I said. "You're safe now." And then she cried. Not quiet, polite tears. Real crying. Ugly, soul-emptying sobs. Like something inside her finally broke open. She cried until she couldn't anymore. And I just held her tighter, stroked her hair, and kept saying, "You're a good kid. You didn't deserve any of that. It's not you, baby. It's them. They're the broken ones." She started talking. Not all at once. Little pieces at first. Fragments. Then full sentences. And then it was like a dam burst. She told me how Grandma called her a guest. How Amanda said, "You're not even a real part of this family." How one time she didn't get any birthday cake because she didn't earn dessert. How she sat alone in her room while they threw Amanda a party downstairs, and no one told her. I listened. And inside, something in me was snapping. You ever have a moment where you just stop being an adult? Where you want to scream, flip furniture, break something. But you don't. Because your kid is sitting beside you. And she is your real family. We stayed in the motel another night. Just to breathe. I bought her a brand new set of markers. A heart-shaped pizza. Chocolate milk. We drew pictures. A lot. She drew a house with a rainbow roof and wrote on top, "This is our house. Here I'm loved." I nearly lost it. Only when I saw her smile again did I do what I should have done months ago. I turned off the auto payment on the mortgage. Logged into the app. Swipe. Password. Done. No dramatic music. No fiery speeches. Just one quiet, clean goodbye. Then I emailed our lawyer. Told him I wanted out of the co-signed mortgage. He asked for the paperwork. I sent it. He said it might take a few days, but it'd be handled. Next, we went to the police. I told the officer that my 9-year-old daughter had been left completely alone in a house all day, as punishment. That's illegal in Illinois, especially when the child is emotionally at risk. They asked a ton of questions. Who was the responsible adult? How long was she alone? Has this happened before? I answered everything. Clearly. Calmly. Like I was in a meeting at work. We'll assign a caseworker, they told me. And open a file. That was it. We went back to the motel. I ordered more pizza. Evelyn watched cartoons. I scrolled the news. And for the first time in what felt like forever, it was just the two of us. No tension. No walking on eggshells. Just peace. About a week later, a letter showed up at Brendan's parents' house. A formal notice. Missed mortgage payment. Foreclosure warning. My phone started ringing again. Brendan. Emma, what the hell? Are you trying to get my parents kicked out of their home? I'm trying to make sure my daughter never scrubs your kitchen floor again while you're eating hot dogs at Six Flags. It wasn't their fault. You're right. It was all of ours. For letting them do this to her. But that stops now. Cue the meltdown. His mom called me from someone else's phone, screaming about how I destroyed their family. His dad texted me saying I was brainwashing the child. I ignored all of it. I had better things to do. Like helping Evelyn heal. We found her a school counselor. I took time off work. We went on walks. Talked. Laughed at dumb cartoons. Breathed. When the social worker finally showed up, Evelyn told him everything. No tears. No fear. Just facts. How she kept trying to be good enough. How she thought maybe she really was the problem. How she was scared to tell me because she didn't want to ruin things. Then she looked at me and said, "But now I know I'm a good kid. Because you said so." That's when I knew I had done the right thing. No guilt. No doubt. Just clarity. She knew she was loved. And no one was ever going to make her question that again. At first, they tried the whole let's make peace routine. Brandon showed up with flowers and gifts. His daughter brought a new toy for Evelyn. His mom came by with a pie, the same pie she only ever baked for Amanda's birthday. I didn't open the door. They left things on the porch. I threw them away. Then Brandon started showing up at Evelyn's school. Dropped off a notebook with horses on the cover, a box of chocolates, and a note that said "We miss you." Evelyn put them in her backpack. That night, she handed them to me and asked, "Can we toss this?" We did. Then he started waiting for us outside school. Said we needed to talk. Said he didn't know. Said his mom went too far. Said he wasn't in a good place. Said it all happened so fast. Said he missed us. Said he loved us. Said he finally saw everything clearly. I listened. Once. Just once. Because he didn't come to me, he came to Evelyn. Tried to hug her. Tried to hand her a new toy. Tried to play the nostalgia card. Remember when we went to the lake? You laughed so much. Evelyn stepped back. Looked him dead in the eyes and said, "You were standing right there when they laughed at me." That was it. After that, I told Brandon he wasn't allowed near her anymore. Why? Because when you spend years making a kid feel like an outsider, and then suddenly show up with ponies and baked goods, that's not love. That's manipulation. And I'm done letting people mess with my daughter's head. He tried to bring up the good old days. You know, before we moved in with my parents, we were happy. And I remember just staring at him, wondering, were we really? Or was I just hoping we'd get there someday? You didn't protect her, Brandon, I said. You knew. You always knew. He didn't deny it. Just looked at the ground like a kid caught stealing gum at a gas station. I told him I'd already filed. There's a temporary order now. He and his parents can't come near Evelyn without my permission. Everything he says can be used in the CPS investigation. He tried yelling. I shut the door in his face. When it finally sank in that I wasn't coming back. That I wasn't pulling the complaint or saving their mortgage. They went on the offensive. His mom filed a counter-report with CPS. About me. She claimed I was mentally unstable. Unfit. That I was emotionally harming Evelyn. That I left her alone in the evenings. That the girl often seemed scared. And, my personal favorite, we raised her as our own, and now she's punishing us. Basically, she painted me as an exhausted mess of a mother, unraveling under pressure, dragging a child out of the only stable home she'd ever known. CPS called me. I wasn't surprised. I was ready. I had a letter from Evelyn's teacher, saying how much better she was doing. I had notes from the school counselor. A doctor's report. A financial record from my lawyer showing how much I'd supported Brandon's family. And I had the police report. Filed the day Evelyn was left home alone. But most importantly, I had Evelyn. And CPS listened to her. They took her seriously. This little girl who thought she didn't deserve cake. Who said she was bad at being good. Who remembered her grandmother saying, "Your mom already has to deal with you, don't make it worse." The caseworker visited their house. Brandon's mom answered the door with her best, with a real victim's here face. She claimed Evelyn was difficult. Said I was always traveling. Said we're family, and she was just trying to teach her discipline. Said I was doing all this out of spite. Brandon's dad stayed silent, as usual. Brandon tried to take the blame. I wasn't well. I was stressed. I wasn't thinking straight. But when the caseworker asked him, who left the child home alone? And, did you know about it? He went quiet. The result? An official CPS investigation. Now their household is being monitored. They're checking on Amanda too. Brandon got a formal notice. If the conflict continues, he could temporarily lose custody. It's serious. Especially since Amanda's mom isn't in the picture. If CPS decides it's an unsafe environment, they'll step in. And then the calls started again. But now it was rage, not begging. You destroyed our family, his mom yelled in a voicemail. You blew everything up over one mistake. Brandon texted. I didn't answer. I forwarded it all to my lawyer. Kept everything. Then came the second letter from the bank. One more missed payment, and foreclosure proceedings would begin. No more warnings. No more grace periods. They kept calling, texting, banging on my door, begging, threatening. I didn't open it. Evelyn was scared. I told her, you're safe now. And she believed me. Brandon's final voicemail? Pathetic. You could stop this, you know. We can work it out. We're still a family. I answered, calm as ever. We're not a family anymore. And I didn't destroy anything. I just stopped paying for your mistakes. It's been almost a year. That house we once temporarily moved into? Foreclosed. Gone. I wasn't checking, just happened to see the listing online. Same shutters. Same cracked porch steps. Big red label across the top. Foreclosure, sold as is. Brandon's parents now rent a trailer in a far-off part of town. They say it's temporary. That was 6 months ago. The only thing they've built back up is their ability to complain. Brandon lives with them. Also, temporarily. As for me, the case against me was closed. Unsubstantiated. All reports confirmed. Evelyn wasn't traumatized, she was finally safe. CPS gave Brandon's family a warning. Next time, there won't be one. We're renting a small apartment now. Cozy. Ours. Evelyn has her pony blanket. Stickers on her closet. A room where no one tells her she's not really family. We got a cat. Planted beans on the balcony. She told me, I want them to grow like me. Free. I work from home. Pick her up from school. Go to meetings. Sometimes just sit and watch her draw. Weekends? We bake cupcakes. Go to the zoo. Just us. And honestly, that's enough. Sometimes I wonder, what if I'd just yelled? Slammed some doors? Thrown a fit? Maybe they'd have talked me down. Hugged me. Convinced me to stay. And Evelyn would still be scrubbing their floors. Trying to earn her existence. But I didn't yell. I just got up. And left. I erased them from our life. The same quiet way they tried to erase my daughter from theirs. Now we're okay. And the ones who thought I'd just take it forever? They're not. What do you think? Did I go too far? Or was it the only thing I could do? Let me know in the comments. And hit subscribe. I've got more stories coming.